Okay, today I have the Beboncool, I think I'm saying that right, Bluetooth game controller for Android plus wired controller for Windows. It's a B02 model, and basically serves several purposes. It's primarily to attach your Android smartphone to and use it as a gamepad for your phone. So if you're playing some sort of game like a shooter or a racer on your phone, this is Bluetooth and will wirelessly you can use it as a gamepad and controller, just like if it was a console such as an Xbox or a PlayStation. And the other purpose is if you're going to be primarily using it for that, but you might want to occasionally have a controller for your Windows PC, this will work as a wired controller. It plugs in via USB to your PC, and you can use it on your PC on gamepad supported games. I'm going to show you this close up in a minute. I'm going to tell you about the specs, what it's capable of. Then I'm going to show you actually turned on with a phone up here, and you'll see that in a minute. And I'll tell you a bit about how to use it, how to pair it. Then at the end I'll give you the price and if I think I recommend it or not. Okay, so like I said, it can be a wired controller for PC or a wireless Bluetooth or wired Bluetooth gamepad for your Android phone. It has two joysticks, a D-pad, which is also known as a directional pad. It's a little flat up, down, left and right. I'm sure you've seen other gamepads, you know what they are. It also has a home button, and it has a start and select button over here. I'm not sure where you can see it, you'll see it closer up anyway. It also has X, Y, B and A like a lot of gamepads. It also has two shoulder buttons on each side, not just one. You have a left trigger 1 and 2 and a right trigger 1 and 2, or L1, L2 and R1, R2. It also has over here a couple LED lights that indicate if it's charging and if it has a Bluetooth connection. So there's a Bluetooth LED light and a charging light there. It uses standard Android HID, so it's very compatible with lots of games, not just ones that are made to be compatible with this controller. It doesn't need special games. It will work with games on Android that are compatible with controllers in general. They recommend searching the Google App Play Store for Gamepad games, Gamepad all one word and games, and that will give you a list of lots and lots of Gamepad supported games, including San Andreas, GTA San Andreas. They also have a free app that you can download by searching the Google Play Store for either Beboncool Gamepad or by scanning a QR code that comes with this. There's one on the back of the box and there's also one in the instructions leaflet. The app is not an app you have to run this controller. The app that you can download is purely a program with a list of various free and paid for games that support game controllers, just to make it quick and easy so you don't have to search the App Store. It is not, because of the size, it's not compatible with the Nexus 6 or the Nexus 6P or LG G2 or G3, but it's compatible with most phones that are no bigger than 3 inches wide and have a screen size of 5.5 inches. So if your Android phone is 5.5 inch screen or lower, it should work, but not necessarily. It depends upon the thickness, things like that. But certainly if your smartphone is no bigger than 5.5 inch screen and no thicker than 3 inches wide, it should be okay. It has a built-in lithium 400 milliamp battery that lasts about 5 to 8 hours of continuous gaming, which is pretty good. So it's rechargeable via USB. It has high sensitivity and quick response. Just if you're wanting to charge this and use it with an Android phone at the same time, don't plug it into a Windows PC because that can trick it. It might think you're trying to use it as a wired gamepad for your computer. So if you're using this on your Android phone, while you're charging it, plug it into something else. Plug it into something like a USB wall charger or something like that. Don't plug it into your PC because otherwise it will activate its PC gaming mode. Okay, let's have a quicker look at this. Now you might have noticed this here. You might have noticed this here. Well, what is that? Well, let's have a closer look. Well, this bit here lifts up Okay, and this is where you put your phone, and if this isn't tall enough, which it probably isn't for most phones, you pull this up to however far you need it to fit the phone in. Then if you're worried about it tilting down or whatever, you get it into the position you want it at, like this. Then you turn this little knob until it tightens. Now with it like that, it's not going to fall, it's stuck in place. Then you'll need to loosen it like that when you want to lower it back down. Now underneath this, where you lift this up, down here is a small micro USB for charging or using it on a PC. I hope you can see that. I'm using a little 3-inch screen on the back of this camera, and sometimes it looks like you can't see things, and then when you edit it on a computer you can. I can't see it on the screen, but I think you'll be able to see it when you're watching it on a proper screen. Okay, let's take a look at the back. Not much really to see here. It just tells you how to pair it. It says if you're pairing this for the first time, press X and the home button at the same time, although you should press the X down slightly before the home button. So basically the X and Y quickly, hold it down to pair. And if you've already paired before, to turn this on, you just hold down the home button. And then it has their safety information, such as it's CE and FC and ROHS certified. Then it has a web address, Beboncool.com. On the top, I hope that you can see this, there is R1 button, then R2 trigger button, then L1 shoulder button, and then L2 trigger. So you have a shoulder button on each side and a trigger on each side. On the front it's branded with a logo. You have the thumbsticks, your typical X, Y buttons, select and start little button here and a little home button over here, D-pad, and then another joystick. Then under there is hidden the little USB slot. Okay, I hope you can see this okay. I didn't show you it all because this isn't really a tutorial, it's more review, but basically I pressed the X, kept that held down, then pressed the home button and kept them held down. Then the light came on to show it's turned on and it was flashing blue next to the Bluetooth symbol. So I then went to settings in the Android operating system, went to settings, and I went to Bluetooth, made sure Bluetooth was turned on. Then after your phone scans, it shows up as B02, the model number of this phone. I just pressed it. Then after I pressed it, it said connecting, then connected. Now it's ready to be used and it's all connected. Now the blue light is solid there on the gamepad. Now this, by the way, is a 5-inch phone on it. It's a 5-inch Qbot Rainbow phone. Now I've already installed the program that comes with it, the one that you can download. It's the Beboncool, and that's basically all it's called. Then you can scroll through a list, and hopefully this is in focus, and you can go to things like VR or free or whatever genre. For some reason it only seems to like it in this view, in portrait. There you go, and you get various options, and then you click it, and then it takes you to the App Store. So yeah, basically that app is purely a list of gamepad supported games, and it's like I say, it doesn't have to be this gamepad, it's just gamepads in general. So things like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, that on the App Store isn't made specifically for this particular gamepad, but it supports gamepads in general on Android. So this is one that will work because this is made to work with standard Android HID interfaces. So basically, as long as the game is made for gamepads, it should work with this gamepad. So I'm just going to get one up to demonstrate. Okay, hopefully you can see this well enough. I'm behind a camera and tripod, so it's awkward reaching around reaching around the camera here, so I might not be able to play this very well from behind the camera. I'm reaching right around from a tripod, and hopefully it's close enough to the screen, but let's give this a shot. This is a racing game. I can't remember what it's called. I just clicked. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll tell you in a minute. Ready? Whoops. I looked at the camera and not where I was going. Okay, that was called Racing Fever. It's a free game with ads on the Google App Store. So as you can see, it picked up straight away. There was no lag. I was able to steer all around very quickly and easily. I do recommend that you go to the App Store or scan the QR code and get the app, the Beboncool app, because that is the best way, that is the easiest way, because you can look at my games and you've got featured, so we can scroll down and see Minecraft Pocket Edition, Dungeon Hunter 5, and scroll down and you see all sorts of things like Soulcraft 2, and even Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and we can click on that, go there, and that one's not free, and unfortunately it's £5 in the UK, but you can go there and get it if you want. And it shows, if we look at the details on the App Store, on the Google Play Store, we can scroll down and see information such as 1 million downloads, action, things like that. Okay, the GTA one, I couldn't find the symbols for some reason, but on some games there is these symbols down here, like symbols that mean it supports cloud saves and leaderboards, things like that. And there'll be one that's very obvious there. See, it's lit up green. Hopefully you can see it on camera. That green one on the left of those symbols looks like a gamepad, kind of like this one. And that means, because it's green, that it supports that. So that racing game I showed you, this is its App Store page, its Google Play Store page, and it has a game controller symbol, a gamepad symbol, and it's lit up green, which means it supports game controllers or gamepads. If it was grey, it means it doesn't support that. So all these other symbols are grey, that means it's not supported. The gamepad is green, which means it is supported. And that's that Racing Fever game. So I recommend that before you get any games that you might be thinking of getting because they support this controller, or controllers, any controller, any gamepad for Android, that you look on the page first, scroll down and find the gamepad symbol to make absolutely sure that it does support the gamepads in general first. So that's very handy that they have that symbol on the Google Play Store. Okay, so that is a 5-inch Android phone being used. As you see, it fits. It was easy to pair because I've had so many Bluetooth devices and products before which I struggle to pair. They often won't pair, or I've had quite a lot of times, including with things like selfie sticks or speakers, audio speakers I've reviewed, things like that. I've had sometimes trouble not necessarily pairing them, but once they're paired, they'll disconnect. So they'll work for like a minute or two, then disconnect, and you have to reconnect or repair, things like that. I haven't had that with this. It was so simple. I held down the yellow button and the home button for just a couple seconds. The blue light came on flashing. Under Bluetooth settings on the phone, I then waited for it to waited for the phone to look for Bluetooth devices. It found BO2, clicked BO2, it said connecting, and after a couple seconds it said paired, and the blue light on the controller was solid. What about turning this off? Well, you don't have to worry about that. This has auto turn off. It turns off after a few seconds. After a minute or so, it will turn off, so don't worry about that. Don't worry about not being able to turn it off and having to recharge it very regularly because it's running its battery down doing nothing, don't worry about that. Just take your phone off when you're done, close it, leave it, it'll go off itself. So what's the price? It costs £25 in the UK, so it's not hugely expensive, especially when it works so well. It pairs quickly and easily, and it keeps a solid connection, whereas I've had so many Bluetooth devices that keep losing connection. It is reliable, it's responsive, it's got very fast to respond to what you're pressing on the phone. Responsive, fast to pair, stays connected, it's reliable, and it costs £25, or in the US it's $27, it's $26.99. In the UK it's £24.99. So do I recommend it? Yes, if you want a gamepad for your Android phone and you don't want to pay an absolute fortune like 50 quid or whatever, this is a nice one for £25, which is very responsive. It picks up all the key presses on your phone straight away, and it stays connected, and is even quick and simple to pair, and it doesn't lose connection. So yes, I do recommend it. Please like and comment on this video, and if you could do me a huge favour and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as it just takes a few seconds and will help me out a lot. Also, if you're watching this as a review on the Amazon product page, please hit the yes button next to was this review helpful. That will help me out a lot too. Thanks for watching.